Marjorie Taylor Green got swatted. That's when some person on the internet sends over the police to their residence, causing a very dangerous situation, something that, has resulted in horrendous consequences for people out there. And it's happened to many other individuals on the internet, and it's now happening to Congress people, which is sort of where this all gets out of control. And here you can see that Marjorie Taylor Green actually posted this on Twitter on August 24th. She said the following. She said, "Last night, I was swatted just after 1 a.m. I can't express enough gratitude to my local law enforcement here in Rome, Floyd County. More details to come." And so that's kind of a big deal. You get a congresswoman who is at home, and you have people who know, where she lives, and now they're calling armed police over there. Sounds like the police did a very nice job and resolved the situation well. We are going to actually read through the report here in a minute. But Marjorie Taylor Green is speculating about why this may have happened. She was on the Charlie Kirk show, and Marjorie Taylor Green was talking with Jack Posobiec, who's also over on Twitter and a good follow on all the platforms, along with Charlie Kirk. And he was asking her specifically about the SWAT incident. And Marjorie Taylor Green was speculating about this before we jump into this clip. She's saying, timing was very convenient. I just introduced this new bill that is focused on transgender issues and protecting children against certain procedures and things. And she's a congresswoman. She's, representative who's doing the bidding of her constituents there in Georgia, and submitting bills that she thinks are helpful for the country. And so she's talking about it, and she's saying, very interestingly, soon as I submitted that, I got some very interesting individuals showing up with badges and guns at my residence.
And it's really interesting that this just happened only a week after I introduced this critical legislation, and I'm building massive support among Republicans and growing co-sponsors, because everyone knows what a dangerous threat this is to our children and that generation. And then here it comes that my house gets swatted by some sort of youth trans activist. And I'm going to tell you right now that if this is the war the left wants to bring, then they can bring it, because there is no way I'm backing down. I will protect kids as far as I possibly can. And if you talk to anybody that is...
And she just goes on and on and on. That was on the Charlie Kirk show, so I'll invite you to go check them out over there if you want to catch the rest of that. But very interesting, sort of, it's a good question. I don't know if it had anything to do with that, or if somebody was just, sort of doesn't like Marjorie Taylor Green. But we do have the police report, and so let's take a quick look at what the Rome Police Department has to say for us. You can see this came out August 24th, which is the day of this recording. And you see the primary officer, Chase Burns, showed up there. Shout out to Chase Burns over there in Georgia. 824, the incident code, right? This is a SWAT call. It is a gunshot wound. Okay, so that is what the caller calls in. 1:01 a.m., it looks like incident wrapped up around 1:35. Beat S3, disposition active. We have officers, Brunson, Bridges. Shout out to Young and Hunter and Dalton, several officers there. The offense is harassing communications. We have the offense details, active, taking place at the residence and the home. And look, we've just got a very short narrative, about a couple paragraphs. Let's read through them. Primary narrative by Officer Chase Burns, 643, attempted swatting. Officer Burns writes, on August 24th, 2022 at 1:04 a.m., Rome, Floyd 911 dispatched Rome police officers to blank address in reference to a male who had been shot 5 times in a bathtub. The call came in from a VA crisis line. As the details continued to be relayed, it was reported that the female was still in the residence and possibly had some children inside with her. Myself, Sergeant Burns, Brunson, Gibbs, Young, and Bridges responded to the residence. While en route, we were informed that it was the residence of Marjorie Taylor Green. Due to the nature of the call, we formed up at the intersection of so-and-so. We then made the approach to the residence, still unsure of exactly what had transpired or what was still in progress. We made a tactical approach to the residence and began ringing the doorbell. After several minutes, we were met at the door by the victim, Marjorie. We informed her of the reason for us being there, and she assured us there was no issue. She stated she would forward the issue to the appropriate security services and requested a keep check on her residence. After we cleared the call and went back in service, Rome Floyd 911 received a call from the suspect claiming responsibility for the incident and explaining his or her motives. It was a computer-generated voice. Interesting. They explained that they were upset about Miss Green's stance on transgender youth's rights, and they stated that they were trying to SWAT her. The suspect claims that he is connected to the website Kiwi Farm something, which is a site that supports cyber stalking. The suspect stated that their username is something autistic right. I've attached a screenshot of that was obtained of the user's profile from the site, the alleged caller's profile. The address is listed at blank. The phone is connected to the profile at blank. The number used for both the call to the VA and the 911 call was blank. Audio calls from both can be obtained through the 911 police department. 911 calls, body cams were all active for 72, 49, 25, and so on. Everything archived in digital files and 2-page police report. Right, that's all that we've got there. So, very, very interesting. Looks like they might be trying to make this an alt-right, claim this is an alt-right thing. But that doesn't make sense because they're angry about transgender youth rights, which I don't think is an alt-right thing. Autistic right, sort of like autistic maybe. I don't know. But we'll see if the police investigate that. And if not, I'm sure the Capitol Hill police will be very interested to know what's going on there. And they're setting up offices all around the country now to make sure that we have a domestic police force. So a very interesting little ordeal there from Marjorie Taylor Green. And well, hopefully she's safe. You know, very scary to think about that, right? The police get a call. Somebody shot 5 times. They're bleeding out in the bathroom. And Marjorie Taylor Green, she's sitting there watching Netflix. You know, she's FaceTiming with Matt Gaetz. I don't know what they do. But that's Marjorie Taylor Green, swatted by an AI voice, somebody angry about transgender issues. So hopefully she's okay.